Good evening and welcome to Ruminations with Eli Love. It's evening time and you know what that means. That's right, kids, it's story time. Woo! Story time. Where I look around as I drive home, and from that I will be inspired to tell a story. A couple things happened right before I started this video. There was some girls that were out in the street and they parked the car on the other side of the road. I'm not sure what caused that to happen, but maybe we'll incorporate that into the story. Or let's look around and we'll give it about 15 more seconds and see if we see anything that inspires us. There's a village for sale. 1325. Okay, here it is. When I was a young boy, I grew up in a village. Oh, it was an interesting village indeed. And the village was mostly little girls. A bunch of little girls and two little boys, me and Junior. Now, growing up, I wasn't Eli Love. Growing up, my name was Tim Buck Tim. And you can probably see why I changed it, because my last name was Yezidid. So my real whole name was Tim Buck Tim Yezidid. And people say fast me Tim Buck Tim Yezidid. And it just didn't sit so well. So, anywho, I changed my name later. But that's not what the story's about. The story's about the two girls in the village. And Tim Buck Tim and Junior. You see, Tim Buck Tim and Junior both, they wanted to have a girl. So they had a problem. They didn't have a problem because there weren't enough girls in the village. They had a problem because there were too many to pick from. Sounds a lot to me like cable TV nowadays, doesn't it? You have way too many channels. Back then, Tim Buck Tim and Junior didn't have to worry about all the channels they had. They only had 3 channels. They had channel 10, they had channel 20, and channel 12. And you know, Tim Buck Tim sure did like that channel 10. Because y'all know what they showed on channel 10, right? Yeah, y'all didn't watch channel 10 back in the day. Channel 10 is your friend. Watch it again. Remember the jingle? Channel 10 is your friend, so you better watch it again. It's Channel 10. Well, if you don't remember Channel 10, then maybe we'll have to tell a story about that sometime. Because Channel 10 is your friend. Anywho, to get back to the story, you know, Junior, he liked Channel 20, of course. All the girls watched Channel 12. We know that they did. But in the village, there was this thing that they would do, and they would actually put the boys with the girls, and if the boys didn't pass this test, the boys couldn't get a girl, so they would kill the boy. You see, that's why there were only 2 boys in the village, and there were actually 108 girls. 2 boys, 108 girls. That's all they had left, because most of the boys have been killed. And so, all the boys that had come of age, all of them have died because they couldn't pass the challenge. You see Mr. Eli Love's here, so obviously he passed the challenge, so I bet you they're not here. And then he passed the challenge that they had in the village. Junior watched Channel 20, and Tim Buck Tim watched Channel 10. Well, here's what happened. The day had come. The reckoning day. The day that Junior and Tim Buck Tim would have their manhood tested. First test was to walk the law. The law! about yay big. And they would have to walk with no shoes on this log that had green slippery moss over a 200-foot embankment. A lot of the people who didn't make it in the village died in this part. They slipped right up that log down into the ravine down there. The holler, sometimes people used to call it. Well, you see, Tim and Junior both had been practicing walking across slimy logs for a long time because they wanted to be men of the village. They knew the village needed men, and being the youngest two that was left out of all the men, they definitely didn't want it to be just girls, and so they've been practicing walking across slimy logs. First it was Junior. Man, Junior got up there and just slid it on across like a baby snake. Junior did it. Junior got right across, and that was it. Like, oh my gosh. What if it were just Junior? Because see, Junior wasn't that smart. Tim was a sharp guy, didn't say much, kind of quiet, but they really liked him. They thought he had potential. Well, Tim was trying to hang across that slimy log. He got up there, takes the first couple steps, and then he gets scared because he's ruminating on the log. He's just ruminating about what if he fell. He's ruminating about all this stuff. He can't stop thinking. He slips, almost falls, hanging on the edge of the log. But somehow he's able to pull himself back up and get across that log. He made it. He made it! Safe! Yelled the umpire. Well, after the first challenge of getting across that log, get over there, car. You need to watch, pay attention to the road, boy. Just like Mr. Eli Love there, looking all around and seeing everything goes on. Anywho, Mr. Tim was up next. Challenge number 2. There's only 3 challenges they had to get through. Challenge number 2 was pretty deadly too. It involved creating your own catapult and catapulting yourself to the other side of the river. And in the river, they had spikes that if you fell into, you'd cut yourself to a bloody mess. Well, this was another place for the boys that did get past the slimy log, and there weren't many of them that did. But I think it was about, they said 14% is what their numbers were. And so that 14% that got to level 2, out of them, they say there was only 5% that would make it to level 3. And level 3, no one ever got past level 3 since they started this whole thing when they were making the men. It's going to be all over the village pretty soon. Well, then that was it. Second challenge. They had to make their own catapult themselves across the other side. So here they go. Here comes Tim up first. One thing Tim was good at was like catapulting crap across the river. You know why? Because when he was younger, they used to say, hey man, he used to carry stuff around. So Tim got smart and he created a catapult so he could get something from one side to another. He liked engineering, he liked creating things, and he learned a lot about the catapult. There's another word for it, he can't remember, but it's like a timbuck or something like that. Can't remember what it was. I'd have to look it up if I want to know, because Tim was good at that stuff. And he made it right across. Boom, no problem. They're like, wow, man, well, Junior, it's a different story. Oh, Junior was pretty dumb, you know. Just about as dumb as Demi. Well, so Junior, he just shot himself across. He got caught there. He got hit. He shot himself too high. Actually got hit up from one of the corners of those trees up there off the hollow. Fell right down on that sharp razor blade, but he got to the edge, so it didn't get him. It just slashed his leg and slashed his left arm and slashed a little bit of his area up here. So when that happened, Junior's still alive, but he trying to go into number 3, and they won't let him go. There's a lot of grenades and stuff. Finally, the Sir Mastermind Meeker, Sir Master Meeker, Sir Master Meeker, decided that he'd let Junior go through after much consideration with the village council. And shoot, I'll tell you what. Old Junior, right when he got up for the third challenge, fell over dead. Yeah, he sure did. And that's all that was left then at that point was little Tim Buck Tim. You want to know what the third challenge is? You ever heard of somebody that's called Evil Knievel that rides that motorcycle over the top of the flame and jumps and all that jazz? Well, it was nothing like that. In fact, it was something that they had to do, and they had to get approved by cheering and voting of most of the women. So really what they did on the third challenge is they left it up to them. And if they didn't win, then they got thrown to the lions and the gators. And they had lions and gators in the village that protected the village, and they put those lions and gators together, which were very friendly. It was kind of amazing. The lions and the gators worked together. But those gator lions, they put those gator lions in there, and they toss them to them. So, no, Tim Buck Tim didn't want to get tossed to those gator lions. And so here's what he decided to do. He said, look, I'll shave my head. I'm going to shave my head, shave my balls, and I'm going to put myself in a car, and I'm going to drive that car off into the Shabaki River. And after I drive into the Shabaki River, I'm going to swim under to the other side.
Estimated time in traffic, 12 minutes.
I'm going to stay under there for 12 minutes. I'm going to hold my breath. I'm not going to use anything else. I'm going to come out and dig my way up the other side. Come out on top. I'm going to take and catapult back over of a link that no one's ever catapulted. Going to build a catapult over there, and I'm going to do this all within 1 hour. What you going to do, Tim Buck Tim? Well, you heard me. I said I'm going to shave my head and I'm going to shave my balls. And I'm going to go and I'm going to cut the car doors off, and I'm going to go in there and take 12 minutes, dig the other side, create the catapult, and I'm going to bounce over. I'll do it all in 1 hour. Ladies, what do y'all think? If he does that, would that be something to keep him away from those gator lions? Well, looks like they're going for it. So, have at it, Tim Buck Tim. So here's where Tim Buck Tim's. He already had the catapult built over there that was hidden that they would never find. You know why? Because it was made out of camouflage. Now you know you can't see any camouflage. And he also had some camouflage outfits, so he knew he could do whatever he wanted so that they wouldn't see him. So what he did was he took off in the car. He shaved his head, took off in the car, jumped into the river, and he got in that catapult. And he didn't have to stay there 12 minutes because he just went to the other side. He had camo on. They didn't see him. And then he came right back over, got shot. And guess what? He's the man of the village. Tim Buck Tim was a man of the village. The only man. So later in life, he left and he started as a person called Eli Love. The Ruminations with Eli Love. And you know they had those gator lions? He said, I'm not a lion, but I'm a tiger. Thank you. It's been Ruminations with Eli Love. Story time.